fulfill my needs. 'Cause I got bitten by a hand that feeds, and I'm burning cash like gasoline. I'm back to the grind.
Hello and welcome back to another OTC review video. This is part 2 of the Starboard Futura. In part 1 we talked you through sort of the brand's claim, where the board sits in their range, the sizes, etc. In this video it's all about me and Ross giving you the down low and the review on what we thought of the board. So Ross, what were your first impressions on the beach?
Well, obviously looking at the outline of the board, the Futura, you definitely see that it's got some elements of like the Isonics and stuff like that. So it's definitely got an influence quite heavily from the slalom point of view. But then if you look closer, it also has a few things which also, you know, makes it more towards like a free race board or a free ride board. So it's got a bit of a scooped out deck to it, which enables them to take some of the volume from up around the mast truck area and push it back to the foot strap area of the board, which really helps with kind of like making it feel like a bigger board when you're sailing in the straps. And the board looks very nice, felt really good on the water, and certainly was one which I enjoyed sailing on.
Yeah, especially with their classic sort of wood style. It's quite a cool board. Yeah,
tiki style.
So we got to the beach, launched from the OTC, important harbour. We had about 25 knots of wind, nice flat water, southwesterly. It was ideal, perfect testing conditions. What size sails were we on, Ross? So
we were basically using 6.8 metre sails. So we had a Severn and we also had a GA Phantom sail, which are like the 2-cam free race sails in respective ranges. And the conditions were probably to the upper limits of what you would use those sails in, but the board felt very comfortable, very manageable in those conditions. And also, of course, Portland Harbour is one of the nicer kind of easygoing spots to sail on, but it also had a little bit of texture to the water. So like some of the sections where we were driving and stuff, we were pushing the board to find out if there was any kind of any effects that we'd find whilst driving through like kind of steep short chop.
I think it's really cool to sort of actually go out testing when it's sort of on the upper limit of it as well. I think it's quite nice, testing it in the way it's desired to be in, but there's a lot of times that we go out windsurfing and you never know what the wind does, whether it picks up or drops off. So I think to test the upper limit was a really good thing for us. What were your sort of initial thoughts when we were blasting around? And
so from the moment I jumped on it, I definitely felt like it was kind of had a feel like when I used to try to have a go on the Isonics, you know, like the scooped out deck also makes you feel like, I'm not even sure if it does, but like feels like the nose is elevated, that it's not going to catch on any chop or any points of sailing. And the board automatically felt really fast, you know, like nice shape under your feet. The rail shape connection between your feet and the board was really nice. I think kind of a racy element to it than you would find on the carve, but super comfortable. I did find that what I didn't want to do was to try and push too hard. I kind of like let the board find its own kind of momentum and its own kind of way over the water, and which it felt really nice. Yeah, exactly. And I think sort of when you look at it in comparison to the Isonic, it's still very, very settled. It never felt like it wanted to lift away. No. Which I think I've always found with sort of the starboards. They're very, very planted and solid. Yes, but they sort of sit a bit higher on the water. Tail sits a bit higher, but it's just very settled and planted, which was really, really nice. Yeah. So I think that kind of really covers sort of the blasting side of it. It's a very quick board. I think we did about 32, 33 knots on it with a twin cam sail, which it's not too bad, really. It's not bad at all. And to be honest with you, I think a lot of guys find that quite comfy, especially with blasting around with your mates. You can still go quick, but you can relax at the same time. When we looked at stuff like manoeuvres such as jibing, it definitely still has some sort of features from the Isonic. So really went onto the rail, went round, but it's a little bit more technical, especially on the exit, I thought. Personally, I'm coming from being a slalom sailor myself, and then not doing any slalom for a long time. Stepping on this board was like it just kind of made me fall back into love with what I actually really enjoyed doing, which was racing, being one of the fastest on the water. It felt great under my feet, really planted into the water, great on the jibes. It just kind of made me smile, made me really want to kind of, you know, if I was looking to maybe have a board that I could really blast around, really get a lot of feedback from it, I would choose this over maybe going to an out slalom board. You know, it fits great with a 2-cam free race sail as well. So that kind of combination for someone like me, that's an ex-racer, or someone that's like kind of the, you know, the local speed king, it works really well, and I think they'll really enjoy that.
Definitely, and I think if you were then to maybe look to sort of make the board go a little bit faster, or just sort of dial it in, you could definitely look at sort of upgrading the fin. But it comes standard with a Drake Slalom 38, which, to be honest with you, is still a really good fin. But for that extra sort of bit of performance, especially if you're, like Ross said, kind of go for top speeds, that could be something you could change. But overall, we were very impressed. I think it definitely has. You know, we didn't really tune too much. You know, didn't try any other like third-party fins. But if that was the board which I had, obviously, like by changing and making little adjustments to your equipment, whether you're using a 80% or a 100% mast, these can make those little differences that will give you a couple of extra knots overall. So there's plenty of features to enjoy and to also experiment with. Yeah, cool. So that pretty much wraps up the review on the Starboard Futura 110 litre board. We are very impressed. If you haven't seen already, we have done a video on the Starboard Carve, which sort of sits just below this in the range. We were very impressed with that one too, so go check it out, and we'll see you soon.